Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy. I'm a mum of two boys and really happen to love books. So if you'd like to see some more videos from me on my cozy little corner of the internet, then please consider subscribing. It would be amazing to have you here. And welcome back if you are already a subscriber to my channel. So today we are doing a dreaded unhaul. I have 14 books that I'm going to be getting rid of and donating. Some of them for bad reasons, some of them are just for other reasons. They're not bad books, there's just other reasons why I'm getting rid of them. My first unhaul of 2025. I hope that I don't get rid of as many books this year, but I think I do have to be more intentional with what I put on my bookshelves, and if I feel like I'm not going to read it, then I should just get rid of it and have things on my bookshelves that I actually enjoy and want to read. But yeah, that is one of my goals for 2025, is to be a lot more intentional with what I read and what's on my bookshelves. So we are gutting some books today, they are going to be donated. So without further ado, shall we go through them in no particular order. So the first book on my unhaul pile is Tender is the Night by F. Scott Fitzgerald. My mum gave me this, and to be honest, I just don't have any interest in reading this. It's been sat on my bookshelf for probably the best part of a year and I've not even acknowledged it. So I just decided, you know what, I need to put it in the unhaul pile and give it to someone who will actually enjoy reading it. If I want to read it at another point in time, then I could always just pick it up from my local library. But yeah, I've got really no interest in reading this. So that is the first book that I'm going to be unhauling. Next is Medusa by Jessie Burton. I actually did quite enjoy this book, but I just don't think I'm going to read it again. So yeah, I did really enjoy it. It was a really good retelling of the Medusa story, but I just personally don't think I'm going to read it again, and I would rather give it to someone who's going to enjoy reading it. So yeah, that's that one. And then next is Wuthering Heights by Bronte. Now this edition is quite old and battered, like the pages are starting to yellow. The only reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I do want to read this, but I've seen much prettier editions, hardback editions, that I think would suit my bookshelf a bit better. Yeah, I do know some people that do prefer reading this teeny tiny text. There is something about these old Penguin classics from like the 90s with this minuscule text that is quite charming, and I do quite like it. I just would prefer a different edition to go on my bookshelf. Next is Weyward by Emilia Hart. Now the only reason I am getting rid of this, because I loved this book, is because I want a special edition hardback of this, and these like flowers here with the butterflies, the Waterstone special edition has that on a sprayed edge in hardback form. So yeah, that is the only reason why I'm getting rid of my paperback copy, because I really want a hardcover copy, not because it's a bad book. Next is Lightlark by Aster, and as you can probably see behind me, I have Lightlark, Nightbane and Skyshade behind me. The only reason I'm getting rid of this is because I got a hardback version. I still haven't read any of it yet, because I know that it's going to be a 5-book series, and I'm debating whether to wait until books 4 and 5 have come out before I've read it. But yeah, the only reason why I'm getting rid of this is because I've got another copy now. That reason also applies to these copies of Godkiller and Sunbringer by Hannah Kana. If you can see behind me, I have the 2 Waterstone special editions. Sorry, I have something in my eye that doesn't want to come out. I have the Waterstones editions of Godkiller and Sunbringer in preparation for the special edition of Facebreaker, which I pre-ordered. That comes out in March. So I just don't have a need for these standard editions anymore. So I might be listing these maybe on eBay or something like that, because I have noticed that the hardcover of Godkiller is quite difficult to come by, or it was when I was trying to find it at least. So someone might make a new home out of these, which would be really nice, because I don't really want to donate them. I'd rather send them off to someone who is really going to enjoy them. This next one my neighbour actually gave me, and it's The Circus Train by Amita Parikh. This has been sat on my bookshelf and I've not even glanced at it, so I think that is kind of my sign to maybe give it to another home. because I can't see myself reading this within the next 12 months. The premise of the story sounds quite good, but I just can't see myself getting around to it. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to someone who is more likely to read it than me. Now this next one, I was debating keeping, but I'm definitely not going to read this again, and it is The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. I am not a fan of extreme horror. This isn't really literary horror, this is extreme, I think, and this is not the horror book for me. I've read other horror books like The Woman in Black, which is more paranormal horror, and Dracul. Yeah, this just personally wasn't for me, and I cannot see myself reading it again. I am definitely glad that I read it, but I'm not going to read it again. So I think it's time to go in the unhaul pile. Now, if you have watched a fair few of my videos, you will probably understand why I'm unhauling The Rats by James Herbert. If you are new to my channel, so this is a very small book. I didn't even get halfway through this and I DNF'd it. This was disgusting. I did not like this book whatsoever. It was just unnecessary gore, and there was a scene with a child involved, and that is a big no-go for me, because having two young children, I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and having a scene in this book that involved a 1-year-old, yeah, absolutely not. So I put this down and immediately put it in my unhaul pile, so bye-bye. Next is another one that I now have a special edition of, so I'm getting rid of the standard edition. I got Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. So I have the Waterstones edition here, and then this is the Waterstones edition of A Pirate Cipher T, and I've pre-ordered the Waterstones edition of See You at the Altar, which comes out in March as well, along with Faithbreaker. So just getting rid of the standard edition because there's no room on it for my shelves anymore. Next is a contemporary romance, and it is Normal People by Sally Rooney. However much I loved this book, I just can't see it on my bookshelf anymore for some reason. And I know that this is a very, very popular book, so the more people that can read it, the better, because I thoroughly enjoyed reading this. But yeah, I just think it's time to pass it on to someone else who will love it just as much as I did. We're down to the last 2 books. So the next one is The Distance Between Me and the Cherry Tree by Paola Peretti. This was actually a beautiful story. Again, I just can't see it being on my bookshelf anymore. This is more of a literary, I would say maybe contemporary, and is about a little girl and her struggle with slowly losing her sight, kind of accepting that fact, that she's going to not have her sight anymore. And it is a beautiful story, but again, similar to Normal People, I just can't really see it on my bookshelf anymore, and I would rather someone else enjoy this beautiful story with this beautiful cover as well. So I think it's time to pass it on to someone else. Last one, I feel so bad because my sister-in-law got this for me, and it is this edition of the Brothers Grimm. Now, I did try and read most of this, and then I saw the cloth bound edition and realised that I needed to have it in my life. I might keep a hold of this just until I get the cloth bound edition, because this one is just as gorgeous, but I think my heart is kind of set on that cloth bound edition now. But yeah, no other reason. I really enjoy the writing style of the Brothers Grimm. I think it is super creepy, but yet fantastical and whimsical. It's got such a weird mix of writing styles. But yeah, I might keep a hold of this just until I can get my hands on the cloth bound edition, but this will eventually be donated. So I think this has been my shortest video of 2025 so far. We are only like a few videos in, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but those are all the books that I am unhauling that I feel like deserve better homes, or I just do not want on my bookshelves anymore. So yeah, I feel a lot better after that. I feel like I've got a bit of a clearer mind now, and I can focus more on the books I have behind me, because it's a lot. And I am probably going to do my physical TBR. I'm going to do one of those videos, I think, because it's a lot. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more from my channel, and I will see you very soon in the next one. Bye!